Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast, your joke-making, fun-having pop culture podcast. I am your host, Justin, aka Oversoul.
And I am your co-host, Nick, aka The Vaping Fiend.
Yes, and in this episode, we're bringing you a bonus episode talking about the recent Gamescom 2024 conference that took place. This is considering a lot of what we saw there, I would argue a continuation of a lot of the stuff we saw during the Summer Game Fest main showing.
Yes.
Kind of an epilogue, I would say. So
yeah,
we decided
kind of like a epilogue to the Game Awards.
No, more like a prelude to the Game Awards.
At this point, to the game. Yeah,
it comes in between the two big things. But the reason I call this like a part 2 to Summer Game Fest or an epilogue or whatever is because it really, I'd say about a good maybe 60% of what we saw was updated looks at things that we saw back then. More in depth,
and we got some exciting like first like world premieres.
Yes, and there were a few surprises. There were a few like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay,
right.
So yeah, we'll talk about all or most of that. We each have our own lists that we're gonna go down of the things that caught our interest. We took notes. Yeah, and there's something here that may surprise you. I can't wait to get there. But
surprised myself.
But yeah, we decided we're just going to do a bonus episode about this one instead of doing a full-fledged episode, because, after this recording, and whether you hear this or our Disney Tweet D23 episode first is up to you, I guess, but after this recording, we're taking a few weeks break, and so and then we'll come back refreshed and jump into something new. So
yes.
So I'll start here because there were a couple of things in the pre-show that caught my interest, and I definitely wanted to take note of those. And the first one was this little co-op game called Be Gone Beast, which I just thought looked kind of adorable because it's this girl and her little animal friends going through this like haunted mansion fighting off these monsters and stuff, and their flashlights turn into energy weapons.
Yes,
and I
thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is the kind of thing that, like, if I had a friend over or a couple of people over, like, I'd pull it up and be like, hey, you want to check this out? Let's play this for a minute. Be like fun little party game when you have company or something.
Yeah.
Like a local co-op. But I think it said it had online co-op, too. So, it's definitely designed around multiplayer, but you can play it by yourself if you want to, with the other characters being AI. So.
Yeah.
So that's neat. That was an interesting one. The next thing on my list, I think, is actually the first thing on yours. Let me double check that. Yes. How do we say this? Nico Dorico? Nico Dorico?
I have no idea.
I think that's Nico Dorico, The Magical World. Kind of looks like Crash Bandicoot.
It does.
It kind of looks like Crash Bandicoot.
It looks like a fun family game.
Yes, it's one of those 3D platformer collectathons. I can tell right now just by looking at it. You're, hearkening back to your Sly Coopers and Ratchet and Clanks. But that's a good thing, in my opinion. I want more of those types of games, honestly.
Yes.
We don't get a whole lot, and that's why I'm excited for Astrobot coming out here on my birthday, actually.
Yes.
In a couple of weekends, on September 6th, actually. That's a Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that new Astrobot game. That's going to be amazing. So, yeah, this Nico Dorico game, The Magical World, it definitely does seem like like we're diving into that kind of thing. So yeah, I want to play that. I definitely want to play that. These next few things are not on your list, but they are on mine, so I'll just go through them real quick. We Harvest Shadows is a game that is both a farming simulator and a horror game. Farm by day, survive by night. I kind of
I
like
thought
the
that was
concept.
cool. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool, and I would play it, but it's a PC game.
Yeah, I
I'm
do
not a
think it
PC
is.
gamer.
Yeah, I do think it is
That's
PC only.
it was only I only saw that it was being released on Steam. But I like the idea
For now,
behind
though,
it.
remember that
Yeah,
consoles have gotten games like Disco Elysium, Doki Doki Literature Club, and The Stanley Parable, which were all originally PC exclusive, and the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise as well, actually, which
fair enough.
does not translate well to a controller, if I'm being honest. Those games were, at least the older ones, were definitely designed for PC because you have to be so fast at clicking on things to keep yourself safe that I don't even see how it was possible for them to translate that in the first place. I'm
Fair.
baffled. There's another horror game called AILA, which I don't know what that stands for, and neither do they apparently, because they never say it. It's just an acronym, AILA, but it's a horror game with biblical undertones, apparently, was the giveaway.
Yes.
And it's such a weird looking thing, but it definitely looks like it's psychological horror, and I'm here for it because it's up my alley, for sure. Of the kind of thing. Maybe, hopefully this game comes out before I retire my Let's Plays. Maybe I'd do that one.
Yeah?
And then I also had Tribe 9, which, if I'm remembering correctly, was a anime-style roguelike action game, that I noticed on there. I just thought the art style was really cool, and I wanted to give it a shout-out because it looked interesting. It's the kind of thing I would at least try, although I doubt I would finish.
Yeah.
But I would at least nibble on it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you want to talk about the next Dark Pictures anthology game?
Oh, dude. Man, I cannot wait to play this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god.
So, I've been doing some reading and I have some extra info about this one too. So,
sweet shit.
As we already knew, this game takes place in space. They're doing kind of the thing in space situation where the alien it's a shape-shifting alien that can make itself look like your other crew members, which is going to lead to some very interesting choices in this game, narrative-wise.
Yes.
And those, the kind of choices that can get people killed.
Uh-huh.
But also, so how with each entry in the series, they've kind of been leaning more and more towards less interactive movie and more like actual game by adding more elements to each one. Like the gunplay in House of Ashes, and then The Devil in Me had like jumping, climbing, and an inventory system and shit like that.
Yeah.
You also know how in The Devil in Me, even though you knew deep down in your core that when you were walking through that hotel that you could really only die during like quick time events and choices because of the kind of game it is, but you still felt super unsafe walking those hallways because of like the booby traps and shit. You still felt like you could die at any time even though you couldn't. Gave you that vibe.
Exactly.
So okay, well, they're really going to double down on that in this one, apparently, because this game is going to include real-time threats and combat.
Oh, shit.
And combat and stealth sections.
Oh, fantastic.
So
I can't wait.
They're leaning even more into
That's not sarcastic at all. I can't fucking wait.
They're leaning even more into, like, less interactive movie, more, like, game stuff now.
Okay.
But I think they're still going to have the online co-op potential, and stuff like that. And I can honestly see that playing out really well, because there will be scenes where you're split up, and the other person will be like, hey, was that you that was with me just now? And the other player will be like, no, I'm all the way on the other side of the ship, and then be like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
I can see that turning out great.
I'm really hoping that they okay. So I'm really really hoping that they decide to keep the same pricing for the like the other Dark Pictures games.
Yeah, they've all been like
But
40 bucks.
okay, perfect.
40 bucks I think is about the normal price. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they go on sale a lot too, and half of them are on PS Plus now. Um
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, um the
Man of Medan is not anymore.
oh, by the way, the B-list celebrity in this one, by the way, she oh, I can't remember her name, but it's uh Monica Rambeau's mother uh from Captain Marvel. Lashana Lynch, that's the actress's name. Lashana Lynch, as she plays
Okay.
Maria. She plays Maria Rambeau in Captain Marvel, and also in WandaVision, and she plays Photon, um, which is the alternate universe version of her that you see at the end of the Marvels in that and
Okay.
because she looks just like her mother, and she also plays a alternate universe Captain Marvel in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness when they meet the Illuminati, which is like a special group of heroes in a different universe. It's got Charles Xavier, Reed Richards, Captain Marvel, uh, Black Bolt, and someone else. So
I still need to watch Multiverse of Madness.
yeah, that's it's you'll like it. Um,
Yeah.
it's got Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier in it. Um,
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay. Say
Um,
less.
so yeah, so that's her as the character we saw in the trailer in this. Um,
Okay.
that's our B-list celebrity this time. Our cover art, uh, you know, celebrity.
Yeah.
So, um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and also it's going to continue the story of the curator that was kind of left on a big cliffhanger at in The Devil in Me, um,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And also, fun fact for The Devil in Me, there was originally going to be a feature, those obols you pick up, those little coins that you find everywhere that you can use to buy
Mm-hmm.
dioramas in the main menu.
Yeah.
Originally, you were going to be able to trade those to the curator, and he would rip a page out of a book and bring dead characters back to life. He would let you undo certain deaths if you paid a price.
Oh.
And they scrapped that at the last minute, but they put the idea back in story wise, because after you beat the game, if you get the speedboat ending, the curator rips the he has Dumet, or Hector Monday or whatever his name, written down in the book, and he rips the page out at the end, and that's when the place starts crumbling and something comes after him and bashes on the door. So,
Mm-hmm.
to be continued. Uh,
Right.
it's like the Assassin's Creed series where you have like the different separate stories going on, but then there's this big overarching story happening too that connects between each game, and that's the
Yeah.
curator. The curator in these games, his story continues with each game. Um, but also, all these games do take place in the same connected universe. All of them, like, you can find Easter eggs to the other games in different ones. Like in Man of Medan, there's a newspaper that talks about the expedition that went down into to the caves in House of Ashes, and other connections like
Really?
that. Yeah, and there's a scene in House of Ashes, the flashback scene with Rachel and Eric, that takes place in Little Hope. Um,
Okay.
when they were on their honeymoon. Yeah. And stuff like that. So yeah, they're all connected. So in some way or another,
Nice.
and I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this game, the next one, somehow leads into it somehow connects to the alien vampires from House of Ashes at some point.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna discount that. No, that sounds like it very well could be.
Right. Yeah, because actually in an interview they did say that there would be Easter eggs and connections to the other games in this one. So, in the same
Mm-hmm.
interview where they talked about the other stuff, and they were very coy about the curator. They didn't want to give too much away about what's going on with him. So, they were very secretive with that. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this next year, and I think Sky and I are gonna do a let's play of it together. So I'm gonna get her in on something before I retire the let's plays.
Nice. I
All right,
can't wait for this game.
you want
They
to tell
didn't
us
give a release. They didn't give a release date, did they? Did they?
2025? That's all we got. It'll probably
Okay.
be around Halloween of next year.
Okay.
It's usually like a fall release.
Okay.
It, like historically, it's usually been a fall release.
Okay, that
Um.
makes sense.
All right, you want to tell us about Revenge of the Savage Planet?
I, for the life of me, don't remember a damn thing about it.
Okay, well, it was on your list. That's why I brought it up. So,
It
uh,
was.
I
It
do. This
is.
this is a sequel to a game called Journey to the Savage Planet, which was a game about you journeying to a savage planet and having to build resources there and survive. Well, now you've been abandoned there, and now it's Revenge of the Savage Planet. Now you've been abandoned there and kind of have to like build a new life there and survive. And it's got co-op elements. It had a very cartoony, very comedic trailer, which I'm guessing is why you put it on there.
Yes.
They were being chased around by aliens and stuff. But yeah, this is,
Okay.
from what I can tell, one of your like basic like crafting survival resource management games, like your the forests and your Minecrafts and your Subnauticas and shit like that.
Mm.
But with co-op.
Yeah.
So, it seems like you're basically like building a civilization on this planet that you've been stranded on by the company you work for, and you're just like trying to live day to day and survive. Um, the first game I think was on Game Pass, so this one probably will
Okay.
be too. So I would definitely I'll give it a try. I'll see what it's all about. Absolutely, I will. Um,
This next thing.
yeah, you know what? I can't wait any longer. Tell me why Call of Duty is on your list. This is insane.
So, dude, okay, I surprised myself here. The campaign looks fucking amazing.
This is what I tried to tell you last time we talked about it. I said the campaign looked good. I said I was impressed by it, and you were all like, "Yeah, file size too big. I don't give a fuck." It was all vitriolic, but now that they had a chase scene in a car, suddenly you're in.
Dude, it was seamless.
You're right. It was. They did a better job this time. I can't argue with that. I'm
Oh
still.
my god.
I'm still like, okay, yeah, it does make me want to try it. I like the part when they're rappelling down the elevator. That was cool. That gave
I
me
won't touch the online.
no, fuck all that. I don't need yeah. It's just kind of so complicated how do you install this shit now, but yeah, I think it comes in separate packages at least. So you can download the campaign separately from everything else, but you still like there's compatibility packs and other shit. It's very weird. Um but yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't lie. This. Goddamn, they know how to make a good trailer. You even admitted
Yeah,
that.
they do.
You admitted that last time too. You said, yeah, you're like,
I
yeah.
kind of
Begrudgingly,
I'm
I
not
have
e-
to admit.
I kind of want to give Warzone a go too because yeah, I
That's
know it's a lot
multiplayer.
of I know.
I know. I know. I
The
know.
only reason I'm considering it is cuz they did a collaboration with the WWE and you know what's fucked up
You're so
is
impressionable.
you know what?
It doesn't
Okay,
take
what's
much to get you
you know,
into something or
you
out
know,
of it.
I'm actually really mad at the graphics with the characters that are in Warzone because what the fuck are you guys doing over at 2K? Seriously, you got Activision getting more realistic versions of their own of WWE superstars, and you had oh my gosh, it's 2K.
Okay.
Do better. Do better.
I figured. I figured, yeah, I kind of figured anyways when you said you wouldn't touch the multiplayer, you were talking about like team deathmatch and zombies and shit like that anyways. Like,
Yeah.
which, yeah, zombies is basically Fortnite goofy now because they've added skins like Nicki Minaj and John Wick and stuff like that.
Oh
So,
God.
yeah,
Okay.
so now you can just like now you're playing as like Snoop Dogg and other shit and other celebrities taking down hordes of zombies. It's nuts. But I've played Warzone with I want to say Dylan and Ryan before a little bit. Not usually my cup of tea, at least not for extended periods, but I can tell you what it is. It's a battle royale just like Fortnite. It's basically the same thing but on a giant Call of Duty map. It's
Fair
literally the
enough.
same thing. But there is one thing they do differently that I think is kind of cool. Even if you're playing by yourself, you can do this. When you die, they take you they you don't like just you're not just out for the rest of the game or wait for a player. Like your friends can respawn you if you're on a team, but if you die like by yourself or they don't get to you in time, you're not just out. You you get a chance to come back. They throw you in this place called the Gulag, and then you and another dead player 1v1 each
Uh-huh.
other, and whoever wins comes back to life. So
Interesting.
yeah, I think that's actually kind of cool. I kind of wish Fortnite would do something like that. To be honest, give you a fighting chance
Right.
to come back. Um,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. Otherwise, like you, I won't touch the multiplayer with a 10-foot pole. But the campaigns have me interested because they've started really. I don't know what it is, but these campaigns are more and more for this series starting to look like playable movies, and that's the kind of shit I like. So
That's why dude, they're doing something with their graphics, and I don't know what it is, but oh my God, fucking 2K. God damn it.
isn't 2K? I thought this is Activision, isn't it?
No, it is Activision. I'm mad
Oh,
that
yeah.
that Activision made better versions of Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, and Rey Mysterio than 2K has ever been able to, and they've had this property. They've had a contact. They had a contract with WWE for a while now, and yeah, they've improved, but they could be doing so much better. Take some notes from Activision 2K. Come on, guys, do better.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. Well, this is coming to Game Pass, so if I really really want to, I can try it. I can give it a go and see what I think. It's been a while
Yeah,
since I've actually tried any of their campaigns, and I hear such good things now, and it makes me a little curious, begrudgingly curious, but curious nonetheless. So, you
I
know,
say Sarah's
it's
got
one of
her
those. It's like
Xbox and
that Bob's Burgers meme where it's like, fine, I'll try it, but I'm gonna complain the whole time. you know.
right. So so I won't have. So since you said it's coming to Game Pass,
Mm-hmm.
so Sarah's got an Xbox and she's got Game Pass
Mm-hmm.
and she's got 7 terabytes of storage.
Jesus, that's a
So I.
lot. I mean, I can see why, but damn, I just upgrade. I've got a whole terabyte now because I got like a 500 gig expansion card. I have the Series S though, and that comes with only 500 from the get go.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna give this one a run through, at least the campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
At
I
least the campaign.
I think I will too. I think I will too, especially if you're going to. Then we can compare notes. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Goat Simulator Remastered. I know you want to.
Yes. So, man,
But can we talk about the lead into the reveal first though? Like we have to.
dude.
This was a hilarious trailer. Um
Dude, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out like what like this is this one of those purposely broken games like Goat Simulator? I had no idea.
Right. I like that they're making fun of themselves for doing this because we zoom in on this jail, this like Arkham Asylum looking place called Cash Grab Penitentiary, and and then as they're going down the hallway, there's like different lockup zones for like remakes and remasters, and then re-releases. There's an arrow pointing at re-releases down the hall, and you see the cart from the opening of Skyrim go by, and then. They keep walking and the camera looks behind him and the fucking cart from the opening of Skyrim goes by again. Oh, that was beautiful.
I'm like, yeah. Where's Pilgor? Where's Pilgor? Where is Pilgor?
Yeah, they just went through
There's
it. And then
Pilgor.
When he walked into the main room and I saw the shape of a goat at the thing, I was like, oh, now I know what this is. Only these assholes would do some shit like this.
I fucking loved it. I loved every minute of it.
It looks good. It looks good.
It does.
I mean, it looks the same, but somehow better a little. It is just a remaster after all.
It's not a port, is it?
No, it's a remaster, which basically means okay, it was a PS4 game, now it's a PS5 game, which means it's gonna, probably...
They're gonna upscale the graphics a little bit.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. It's just gonna look better and maybe a higher frame rate. That's the...
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the difference between the PS4 and PS5 version of The Last of Us Part 2.
Maybe there will be a free upgrade if you have already purchased the PS4 copy. Maybe.
There should be
at the very least a discount, because usually they do the free PS5 upgrades if it's the exact same game with hardly any changes. It's just one is PS4, one is PS5. Like I noticed, like the differences with the Dark Pictures games is like the PS4 version runs at like 30 frames, 1080p, but the PS5 version is like 4K at 60 frames with HDR support. But like those are the differences, but it's not, I wouldn't really call it a remaster. It's just like the difference between playing the game on a newer computer and an older computer. Fair enough.
That's what those are. So that's why those upgrades are free. But if they do a full-fledged remaster or remake, well, remakes are rebuilt from the ground up, so they're technically new games anyway. But a remaster is like the difference between PS2 Kingdom Hearts and PS3 Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
It for the most part, because like The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered added new stuff that wasn't in the PS4 version, like deleted levels you could play through with commentary, and a rogue-like mode called No Return, and like a guitar playing mode. So if you upgrade that, it costs full price if you buy it outright, but if you upgrade it from the PS4 to PS5 version, it's only a $10 difference, and you just got to pay that $10, and boom, now you have the PS5 version. So
nice.
Ideally, they would do something like that for this, but some companies, they're weird about it. Some of them, like the PS5 version of I can't even remember it anymore. It's some Cthulhu game that I had on the PS4. Sinking City, that's what it's called. PS5 version of that costs full price. There's no upgrade, and there's not even a huge difference between the two. So, like, it really depends on the developer. So
right. That makes sense.
So these devs will have to make that choice whether they allow a free upgrade or a small fee, or if they're just going to charge full price for a new game. So
right.
That's up to them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, got another look at the upcoming DLC for Persona 3 Reload, which I'm excited for. This is episode Aegis. It's their remaster or remake take on the answer from Persona 3 FES on the PS2. And what excited me the most is it looks like we're getting like a super boss battle or secret boss battle against the protagonist from Persona 5, Joker. So that's going to be fun, little thing to challenge yourselves with. I'm looking forward to that because more Persona is always good to me. Speaking of which, that game from the Persona people, Metaphor, ReFantazio, or whatever, is coming out in like October or November, and I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. King of Meat. Let's.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, that's on your list too.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like it'd be fun to do a let's play.
Yeah, fun with friends. It is
Fun with friends, yeah.
Fall Guys with medieval torture devices. Quite frankly.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a more violent Fall Guys. You know, you're running through an
it
obstacle
does.
of booby traps and shit. Kind of got a bit of a dungeon crawly thing. It's what I gathered here is it's part Fall Guys, part Mario Maker, because it looks like you're running through obstacle courses that other players have created. Is what the message said, and I think that's pretty cool. You know, kind of takes me back to the day of Little Big Planet when we used to play through levels that other people made online.
Oh yeah.
It had its own story mode, sure, but some of the best goofy ass levels were on the internet for sure.
Yeah.
We used to have all kinds of fun with those levels that would just like put you on a skateboard and then roll you down a very long hill and then you just go flying into the stratosphere at the end and shit like that. Oh, that was beautiful. I remember one time I was playing Little Big Planet with Dalton and Carissa a long time ago, in like 2013, 14 maybe. And it was like Little Big Planet 1 or 2, I can't remember which one, but we were all riding on a skateboard or something, and one of them did that thing where you flicked the right stick real hard and smacked the shit out of the other player, and one of them did that to me, and it knocked me off the vehicle, and I just flew off the screen and died, and they kept enjoying the ride. And it was pretty funny.
Was I there?
I don't know, maybe. You were there a lot.
I remember that.
Well, we did that
I might have been there
in these games.
I might have been there for that.
I might have done it to you. I might have done it to you in the game.
Maybe, yeah.
We used to do that, and then Little Big Planet 2 gave you that hat that shoots cupcakes,
yes.
And that ended up being like one of his weapons in PlayStation All-Stars. I'm still not giving up on a sequel to that. There's enough new exclusives now. Give us a fucking goddamn, put Aloy in it. Put the other Delson Rowe in it. Come on, we got characters. Let's go.
Yeah, Nickelodeon's done 2.
Right.
The fuck.
I don't
Come
know if
on
they're
now,
any
PlayStation.
Because I haven't played them, but they have.
I've played the second one. I've played some of the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my daughter got Nickelodeon Brawlers 2, All-Star Brawlers 2.
Right.
And Nickelodeon the Nickelodeon Kart Racers collection. So all 3 kart racing games.
Right, yeah. Yeah, All-Star Brawlers 2 is on Game Pass, so I have it downloaded. I'm going to try it at some point. I just haven't yet. It's fun. There was a Cartoon Network version of these types of games. Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion.
I couldn't get into it.
XL. Oh, really?
Couldn't get into it. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Cartoon Network, I was always more into the Nickelodeon, so I kind of liked that one. I liked the character roster of that one better, but like the controls were kind of ass in it.
I'll say what I like about All-Star Brawlers 2 is you get to play as one of the characters you can play is Reptar, and you can change the version of Reptar, and you can like basically be like the giant robot Reptar from Rugrats in Paris.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a campaign mode in this game, like a story mode?
No, I don't think so.
Like an arcade mode, at least.
There's arcade mode, yes.
Okay, I'll take it because that's what PlayStation All Stars had was an arcade mode. They just had each character had their own standalone story, like a Tekken game, basically.
Let's say you can play as Reptar, the Angry Beavers, Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, there's DLC for Mr. Krabs. I think you can play as wow, I am drawing a blank.
Well, anyways, back to King of Meat. I also want to say before we wrap up on that, I appreciate that the opening animation for it was like a Jeff Keighley thing, like a little Jeff Keighley cartoon. That was pretty fun. All right, I know we're both excited to talk about this. Lost Records Bloomin' Rage.
Yes. Dude, this one looks good.
The people behind Life is Strange.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's like, okay, this I'm gonna pay attention to this because I want to play the Life is Strange games, but if this is from the makers of the people from Life is Strange, I already know I'm gonna like it because I like the game because I've seen some of the gameplay for the Life is Strange games. So if I can get my hands on this, if it comes to Game Pass, I could just dive right into this.
Right, and I know you like these narrative-driven, choice-based games where no matter what, you're gonna reach the ending. It's just sometimes you might have to like solve a puzzle or something, but either way, you're still gonna get through it.
You know? I like that because there's a lot of games that I have not finished.
Right,
God of War Ragnarok, for example.
Yeah, and I still gotta get on the getting past that boss for you in 7 Remake. It's just been wild schedule lately, but I'll get to it soon. Maybe even tonight.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks great. Like, I love the animation. I think this game takes place in like the 80s or something. There's parts where they pull out the camera and it looks very vintage, like extremely vintage. Which I think is cool. I like how they handle the choice system in this one, just based on the trailer, the gameplay.
Yes.
Man. Yeah, and I'm loving the characters. And obviously there's gonna be a group of idiots out there who scream woke or whatever just looking at the cast, but like, this game took place in the 80s. It takes place in the 80s, so you can shove your complaints somewhere else. That wasn't even a word back then. It meant something else. So, yeah. Stupid people who complain about anything. But yeah, this is definitely on my wish list. Not sure which system I'm going to get it on. Probably the PS5. It's the most likely scenario. I think this is a digital-only game, though. I haven't seen any, like, physical copy options out there yet. So...
definitely on my radar.
Yeah, mine too. Absolutely. Let's see. We both have Infinity Nikki on our list as well.
It's cute. It looks cute.
This is our second look at this game, all about like cats and dress up and photography. And yeah, I agree. It's adorable. It looks adorable, and I would absolutely play the hell out of this, especially if you can turn into a cat. In this game. Yeah. I'm not afraid to say that sometimes I like cute and pretty things. I am non-binary after all.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I want to play this. It'd probably be a rental for me until I know how I feel about it, though. Like, I want to try before I buy on this one, just to see what the gameplay actually feels like, because watching it and feeling it firsthand are two different things for sure. So, at least for me, there's a bit of a different feel there. Yeah. You have any other thoughts on that one besides it's cute?
No.
Okay. On my list, I also have this game called Reanimal, which I thought was Little Nightmares 3 at first, but then, that's because it's from the same people who made Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and I forgot that Little Nightmares 3 is actually being outsourced to Supermassive this time. It's not from the original people. So the original
I noticed that.
The original people are doing this instead, Reanimal, which feels more like the first two games, if I'm being honest, than Little Nightmares 3 does, just based on the trailer. And especially the whole, like, the sheep stretching its head out to try and eat them and shit, fucking weird visuals like that, like the disturbing visuals in an otherwise, like, it's a very, Little Nightmares is very Tim Burton to me, because it's like this cutesy, like, claymation visuals, but with, like, disturbing, weird shit happening in it, you know?
Yep.
And that's kind of what I love
Tim
about
Burton.
it. It's like a nightmare version.
Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's like a nightmarish little Big Planet, you know?
Oh, speaking of, I know, just a little side tangent. Tim Burton's getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame finally.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Congrats to him. I'll have to tune into that footage whenever it happens. Okay, but yeah, Reanimal is going to be co-op too, and I put this on my list because this is one I want to play with Sky eventually. This and Little Nightmares 3 and Dark Pictures 5. So, yeah. Now, this is on both of our lists, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yes.
I know you've been, like, every time we see this is like the 6th or 7th time we've seen this shit, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's
like,
always on your list.
When is this game going to come out? Fine, like, seriously, I'm waiting for this damn game.
I think it's like next February, isn't it? Something like that.
I think so, yeah.
That's when the first part of that Lost Records Bloom and Rage is going to be two-parter, by the way. It's episodic, Tape 1 and Tape 2. And Tape 1 comes out next February, and Tape 2 next March. So,
okay.
Yeah, so they're going to split it into two halves. It's probably going to end on a big old cliffhanger, and you got to wait a month to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do. Remember Telltale Games? Yep. Remember they used to release in 5 episodes, and they would like be like each like a month apart, and each episode would end on a big cliffhanger.
Yep.
Yeah. So Monster Hunter Wilds, how'd you like this trailer? I can't lie, I like big spider flower monster.
Yes.
It was cool.
Yes, I liked it. It was cool looking.
Sand lizard that shoots lightning.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And damn, that food looks good. That's always been one of the strong points of this series, is that the food that you can cook back at camp looks so scrumptious because it looks fucking real.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, they've always made a big deal about how good... There's actually an actual cookbook out there that teaches you how to make things equivalent to what they make in those games. Like, with real-life ingredients. Yep.
Nice.
People made a big deal out of Final Fantasy XV's cooking mechanic, too, because the food in that also looked amazing. And that is true. And I think there's a cookbook for that, too, like Ignis's cookbook. And, you know, the Japanese knows food. Like, they know food.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah, they do.
Like, they're good at food, you know? That's one of their strong suits, for sure. So, yeah, the food in this looks good. The little cat people helping you out. Big battles. If this is a game that you are definitely planning on playing, I would try to link up with Ryan on it, because he's looking forward to this, and I'm sure he'll be looking for people to join him online to go hunt monsters. And this is... I'm telling you right now, Monster Hunter is the kind of series that you'll probably have more fun with playing it with other people, because you can gang up together on the big You're going to struggle playing it by yourself, but with other people, it'll be more manageable and more fun.
Okay.
Because these are like, you know, these are towering. Monster Hunter is like a genre of its own. It's not Souls-like difficult or anything like that, but I would argue in a lot of ways it's kind of the series is kind of a predecessor in some fashion, where you're fighting these giant monsters with fucking 100-foot health bars, you know? But,
yeah.
I mean, it is called Monster Hunter. You're hunting monsters. That's the whole point. You go out, hunt monster, come back, sell monster stuff for new gear, go out again and hunt stronger monster with new gear, and, you know, rinse and repeat.
Yes.
It's a mission based type game, you know.
Yes.
So But that's why, it's designed to be played with other people, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I think maybe if the three of us linked up, we'd have a lot of fun with that. Let's
Say I've
see
got
here.
my I don't know if it'll be on PlayStation. It'll probably be on PlayStation. It'll probably hit Game Pass, and at that point, I'll probably just get it for the Xbox. Um, yeah, probably just get it for the Xbox.
Oh, you're talking about Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Um, so next on your list was Monument Valley 3.
Yes, I want
A
to
net a
play the.
Netflix game.
Yeah, like okay, I like strategy games like this.
Little puzzle
I
strategy
like,
games where
I
you
yeah, I
move the
like.
environment.
Yeah, it's. I've played something like this before, and I
Fez.
want to play. I don't think I've played Fez.
Oh, okay. Fez is like that. It's a little pixel art one where you're playing a little white guy with a fez on his head, and you use the shoulder buttons on the controller to turn the environment around to see different perspectives to figure out where to go.
Okay. No, it was another mobile game. It was a mobile game that I played that was similar to this,
Okay.
and this intrigues me. Like, and the fact that the first two are coming to Netflix as well.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
please.
I didn't know you enjoyed casual puzzle games like that.
Yeah, I love games that make my brain think.
Then I but you prefer real-time combat over turn-based. Turn-based combat is the strategy one.
But I'm not having to worry about something attacking me with this. It's a puzzle.
That's true, but most of those they attack you when it's their turn, like chess. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, it is. It is a different. It's a different breed. Um,
Yeah, it is a completely different breed, and I'm here for it.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm surprised this isn't on your list too, but it's on mine. And I was skeptical at first, but I'm kind of sold now, especially now I know it's going to be free to play. But Marvel Rivals. Um, this is a basically Marvel take on a hero shooter, but it's going to be completely free to play, and every single character is going to be available right from the get go, and they'll continue to be free to unlock as you go. So that basically means no like hiding characters behind a paywall is what they're saying. But
Nice.
makes me wonder what other shit's going to be behind the paywall, because it's going to be free to play, so they got to make their money somewhere. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm surprised this wasn't on your list because like we got a better look at the gameplay now too, and they had like Captain America and a few other people running around hitting people with their weapons and shit.
I
It
might
looks
give it a
fun.
try.
I mean, it's gonna be free, so what do you have to lose?
True.
Like I would definitely play it with someone. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Uh, they had me at like all characters unlocked, like from the get-go, like you don't have to buy them and shit. That's got me a little more like they're not being predatory like a lot of free-to-play games
Yeah.
are. So
Yeah.
that gives me hope. All right, let's talk about Secret Level. You
Oh
got that on
man.
your list too.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
From the people that brought us Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix comes an anthology show about video games that will have actual characters from video games in it, including Mega Man and Kratos, and is in collaboration with several different games and developers, including PlayStation and this game called Sifu that came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It looks like every episode is going to be a slightly different animation style. It's
Yup.
almost like the game developers themselves each went in and made their own episode for this,
Like
like
the
in the style of their game.
man, like when he was talking about this, he was getting choked the fuck up.
Yeah, I thought that was
Like
sweet.
this, yeah, no, that's awesome. Like he's that proud of it. Like he gets emotional that it's finally coming to fruition. Rightfully so.
Yeah, I'm excited for this show, and it's coming to Amazon Prime, which means I don't have to sign up for Netflix again.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I really don't want to give money to Netflix anymore. I just don't.
I am gonna have no choice but to give Netflix my money if I want to continue watching Monday Night Raw in
I,
January,
I know, I
because
know,
it's
I know.
it's jumping ship over to Netflix come January.
You've got your reasons. I get it.
Yes, I
I
do.
just me personally. There's nothing there for me anymore until the final season of Stranger Things
Fair enough.
comes out, and then I'll pick it up long enough to watch it and then be done with it again. So
Fair.
it's like $20 a month for 4K. It's ridiculous. Uh, I don't need that. Not like yeah. Meanwhile, you got this HBO Max, Disney Plus, Hulu bundle for $30 a month. That's a much better deal.
Yeah, Netflix needs to bundle with something.
They won't. Um, but yeah, Secret Level looks great. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it. Like I'm just really curious to see how this turns out. Um,
Yeah.
I also put Batman Arkham Shadow VR down because, god damn, I'm so mad that I don't have the Quest 3. I only have the Quest 2, and this is going to be a Quest 3 exclusive, so I'm going to have to upgrade at some point. But Ryan has the Quest 3, and I know he'll be able to play this, and I'm hoping he does so he can tell me about it because it looks amazing. This takes place between Arkham Origins and Asylum and is kind of harkening back to Batman's earlier days. This is back when Harley Quinn is still just a therapist. Harley Quinzel, and the villain is Ratcatcher. And we get some early looks at other villains, like Edward Nigma is a forensic analyst for GCPD
Okay.
instead of being the Riddler. He's not the Riddler quite yet. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, well, I mean, he is because he was the Riddler in Arkham Origins, but like we get to see a little bit of like his undercover side here too in the trailer. It looked like, but like, it's really cool to see how the free flow combat from the Batman Arkham games is translated over to VR. Like because this is going
Right.
to be a MetaQuest 3 game. You have these. I'm sorry, these new VR headsets like the Quest and the PSVR 2 have hand controls that have joysticks and buttons on them, so you're getting both. You no longer do you have to choose between hand controls or normal controller like you did on the PSVR for a lot of things. Now you get both. Now you have hand controls that even read your fingers and shit that also have but also have joysticks and buttons on them so you can move normal and do normal shit so you can move with the joystick, press A to throw a batarang or whatever, but then when you go to punch an enemy, you can move your real life fists to punch the shit out of them. Stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that's cool because you're getting the best of both worlds. And I like that we have that now. And I gotta tell you, man, these MetaQuest headsets, I really do want to upgrade to the 3 because they added this feature to MetaQuest 2 that 3 has, but in the 2, the pass-through camera's in black and white, so the world around you is black and white, but everything in the headset's in color. But in the 3, I think it shows everything in color, because I remember Ryan saying, like, he was able to watch a YouTube video with the headset on while doing his dishes in real life because of the pass-through camera. And, that's
Yeah,
pretty
no,
cool.
that's what I was hearing on Fortress of Nerditude too, when he was talking about it.
Right. And that's pretty cool. So that same thing is on the Quest 2, but it's in black and white. But I was sitting there doing it the other day. I had the pass-through camera on so I could see the real environment around me instead of the virtual one in the
Yeah.
headset. But I had the screen pulled up in front of me playing YouTube videos and stuff. And, I could see the cat and pet it and all that. But I put the controllers down out of range of the headset's visual range, and
Uh-huh.
I pulled my hands up and I realized this headset has hand tracking without the controllers, so it can see where my real life hands are and translate that to the virtual environment. So I reached out my real hand without the controller, and I grabbed the screen and moved it around, and I tapped on things to pick other stuff, and I was like, oh shit, this is like Minority Report, like where this is, like I'm using my real hands to do this, not just the controller, like my actual hands to do all this like virtual tapping and shit. Like I'm moving these screens around in front of me. Like this is the shit they used to show in movies that now we are actually here.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. You see like these sci-fi movies where they got these screens floating in front of them and they move around their hands and shit, like on Futurama and stuff. But like we're there, pretty much. That's crazy.
It sounds like Apple basically ripped off MetaQuest with the Apple Vision Pro. The only difference is it's used for entertainment purposes, not gaming.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Apple tends to copy shit a lot of other people do and then claim that they started it. It's kind of an ongoing trend. They're like just now translating over to USB-C universal cables instead of price gouging you on their exclusive ones.
Oh no, they're not. They weren't given a choice. Like Europe was some country over in Europe was threatening to basically said that they were going to stop sales of the lightning cables. So Apple had to follow suit, and if they wanted to keep selling their products over in Europe, they had to comply.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they were forced to. I mean, it sucks that they had to be forced to do the right thing, but it's at least it happened.
Yeah.
The USB-C cables are so universal. You get one with your PS5 for fuck's sake. You don't need this is better, if you ask me. It should, yeah. And like, no longer do you have to worry about, oh shit, my phone's dying. Does anyone have a charger? And everyone's like, not for iPhone. Well, now we all have the same charger, so.
Exactly.
Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Batman Arkham Shadow VR looks great. I'm jealous. I want to play it, but I just don't have the money to spend on the headset upgrade at the moment. But eventually, at the very least, I'll watch a Let's Play or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, you have Age of Mythology Retold on your list. Why don't you retold me what that's all about?
So I put this one on my list for Sarah. I know she likes the Greek mythology type stuff, and
this
I enjoy it too. Huh?
This is an RTS, one of those real-time strategy games. I think this is one of those you build a city and you create people, and the people go out and get resources for you and stuff, but you also build an army, and then you click and drag that army over to your enemy's territory and tear all their shit down and steal their stuff, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what this is. Because it reminds me of Age of Empires games I used to play on the PC back in the day.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's the whole the Greek mythology thing though. I think that's I like the idea. Wasn't there a or am I losing my mind? Wasn't there an announcement for a Sims type game?
Sims, I don't know, but there was a Civilization 6, we got another look at Civilization 7, which definitely is an RTS game, but that's like a map conquering strategy thing. You might be thinking of Masters of Albion, which is, it's technically a Sims-style game that takes place in the Fable universe. It's the new game from Peter Molyneux, who we haven't seen in a while. but he was the creator of the original Fable.
Okay.
Yeah, he came out on stage to talk about Masters of Albion. You have this like god hand that's like picking characters up and placing them places and
Yeah.
building stuff. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, Masters of Albion.
Okay.
It's a Sim style game in the Fable universe, more or
I'm here
less.
for it. I'm here for
Technically,
it
so
because I
fun
like
fact
those.
about that: Peter Molyneux doesn't have the rights to Fable anymore, so there was kind of like a legality question about whether or not he could use the name Albion because that's the name of the world that Fable takes place in. But it turns out that that's also the name of a real place in Europe. So, and you're not allowed to copyright the names of real places, so therefore that word is free to use. And
Right.
so he's allowed to use it, and so he can pretend that it takes place in the Fable universe that he no longer has the rights to. But it's like a sneaky loophole.
Fucking loopholes.
Right, right. So I thought that was kind of nice. Yeah, so that'd be you should
Yeah.
definitely give the Fable games a go at one point. I'd say play Fable 2. It's the most accessible one. And
Okay.
it's got your kind of humor in it, I swear. It's very Monty Python.
Okay.
So,
Say less.
a lot of fart. I think the game has a fucking dedicated fart button. So yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
So,
You had me at fart button.
I think I had you before that, but okay. But yeah, I would say Fable 2. It's on Game Pass. You're gonna have to play that one on the Xbox, though. It's their series, one
Yeah.
of their exclusives.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see. We both had Hurdling on the list. Another cute looking little game.
Yeah, it was another one I put on here for Sarah. I think she would like this.
Hurdling. Yeah, it's a well, I don't want to say it's a herding simulator because it seems to be more than that. It seems to have like some heart to it, but it says guide a herd of mysterious creatures on a stirring and beautiful journey into the mountains and beyond. So you are like herding this group of creatures along the whole way, but I think but I think it's like a narrative progression game, like you're going from point A to point B and the scenery changes, like there's a story here and shit.
I think I might give this a shot. I might give this a go too because I really like the game style.
I like the visuals too, the art style. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Head out on a grand alpine expedition with a herd of lovable beasts as you ascend a mountain path, encounter eerie dangers and surprising obstacles, and forge your way to the mystery at the summit. Guide, protect, and fall in love with a motley herd of calicorns. Traverse stunning mountainscapes, fog-wreathed forests, snowy plateaus, and forgotten valleys. Hone your herding skills as you navigate a wide range of challenges, threats, and light environmental puzzles. Feel the rush of the mountain air alongside your herd in exhilarating stampede sequences. And an emotional, wordless tale of trust, survival, and championship during a great crossing through a fallen world. Oh, so this is a wordless narrative game like Journey, too. This is
nice.
This is a no dialogue, just enjoy the beauty game.
Okay.
Yeah, I like those too. So, because that's usually some of the God, those types of games are pure art, in my opinion. Like that's I'm super into it. We both have Squid Game Unleashed on here. I'm a little disappointed that it's a mobile game, but I still want to try it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Again, Fall Guys vibes here.
Yes.
Have you seen the actual show Squid Game, which is
I tried. I can't watch it without the English dub, and I feel like I'm doing the show a disservice by watching it like that because the English dub doesn't have as much emotion behind what the characters are putting out.
Yeah. I watched it with the Korean language and English subtitles because I don't mind subtitles like some people do, but I don't know. I know people who watched it with English audio and still really enjoyed it. So I'd say if you're gonna, I mean, if you absolutely
I
have to do
enjoyed what I
the English,
watched. I enjoyed what I
yeah,
watched. I couldn't I couldn't it was I
I'd say the English audio is better than like not watching it at all. At least it's still like really good story wise, and
okay.
their games that they play, like turning those playground games into killing games, is very creative. It's worth it to give them
Yeah.
with the, especially with you being a fan of Saw and all that.
Yeah.
They got that. I'm assuming you made it at least far enough to see the first game, Red Light, Green Light. Um,
Yes. I did see that.
Okay, yeah, it just gets crazier from there. I think they do like marbles and like the bridge game, a tug of war at one point.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah. Um and there's this thing where you have to like cut a shape out of a cookie.
Oh, I
Uh
remember that. Oh, that though.
what?
Cut the shape out of it. Yeah, I remember that one. That was
Oh, okay.
gruesome.
Okay, so you made
That
it
was
that far.
fucking. That was fucking gruesome.
Yeah, sunk cost fallacy. If you made it that far, you might as well finish it. Uh
Yeah.
okay. I have Unknown 9 Awakening on my list, and I think it looks beautiful. I now realize it's not a PlayStation exclusive, and originally I thought it was, but let's be honest here. It looks like one. Uh,
Yeah.
there's just something. So we started with a live action trailer for this, and then it went into the gameplay stuff, which to me looks really good. Like I don't, it's just something about these types of games that look good to me. It reminds me of stuff like Forspoken and Banishers and a little bit of Horizon in there.
Mm.
Um, but directly from the website itself here, it says you play as Haruna, a Quastor born with the ability to venture into the Fold, a mysterious dimension that overlaps our own. On her
Hmm.
quest for powerful hidden knowledge, she will learn to master her unique connection to the Fold, which allows her to channel its powers into our world. But such power does not go unnoticed. Haruna quickly becomes the target of the Ascendants, a splinter faction of a secret society known as the LYS, who want to use the Fold to alter the course of human history. So yeah, so the Fold is like another world that overlaps our own, and from the gameplay I saw, yeah, it's like she can like camouflage herself by traveling into the Fold, which appears to be some kind of spirit realm, and then like reappear in the real world and use that to her advantage to do attacks and stuff on enemies. And
Hmm.
I think that looks cool because it kind of reminds me of Banishers Ghost of New Eden game, came out earlier this year, where you play as a real guy and the ghost of his dead wife, and you switch between them to handle different types of enemies and situations and puzzles and stuff. You need the real
Okay.
life guy for some scenarios, you need the ghost wife for other scenarios. And this is giving me similar vibes to that, both in terms of like graphics and gameplay and just like that messing with the other world stuff.
Hmm.
And you tell me it's a game about another dimension that overlaps our own, and like this character being hunted down by people. Like, I'm at least gonna rent this. I want to try it. Like, I'm hoping there's like a game trial on PlayStation Plus or something like it.
Yeah.
Or I'm hoping it comes to Game Pass or something, because I really want to try it. This looks like my kind of game. I don't know. It feels like uh one of those underrated action adventure narrative games that I
Hmm.
enjoy, like like Banishers and Forspoken. It's just given that vibe, not as popular as like Horizon or God of War, but like still in that vein of like gameplay style,
Hmm.
um, and adventure focus. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that very much. Um, what did you think of that one when you saw it on the screen?
It looks like something that I might want to dabble in.
Very nice. I wrote down Flowtopia, and now I'm having a hard time remembering
I'm having a hard time
what it.
remembering it too.
Oh, it's a Animal Crossing style game, but it takes place in like a floating city. That's what it is.
Okay.
Flowtopia. It's a superpowered life sim RPG. It's coming to consoles, PC, and mobile.
Okay.
It is yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, I think it looks cute. This does look like, based off of the other types of like Harvest Villa and stuff. This does seem like something Sarah would like, based
Yeah.
on the other recommendations I've picked up on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, on the PlayStation blog for this game, it says our story is set in a fantastical world filled with superpowers that can be acquired through just a phone call. Unfortunately, as the protagonist, you find that all the best superpowers in the world have already been taken, leaving you with, well, frankly, the much less impressive ones. This situation has led you into a dead-end job, and you feel marginalized and underappreciated. But, by chance, you come across a floating island, and there, you join others with similarly useless superpowers. Together, you embark on a healing journey, exploring the new chapters of your lives. It says the world is made up of unique miniature toys with an art style that is bright, fresh, and full of fantasy. It feels as if you handcrafted it piece by piece. Here you will see residents that look like figurines, houses made from milk cartons, and stations seemingly crafted from clouds. Stuff like that.
Hmm.
And you have your own island that's a base, and you can travel with it to visit different fantastical realms.
Yes.
There's a lot of fantasy elements, different regional cultures, and natural landscapes and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's got like, it's an action adventure RPG with some like life and farming sim stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it looked cute. I thought it looked fun. It's another one that I want to at least try at some point. At least looking forward to trying it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, you had it on your list too.
Yes,
Flowtopia.
I did. Yeah, I had more for Sarah, but yeah.
Right. So I also had Little Nightmares 3 on my list, obviously, because I love the first two games. I did Let's Plays of both of them, and if this one comes out soon enough, I'll hopefully... This one's going to have co-op, too. So I'm hoping that I can play this with Sky, that we can do a Let's Play or something for this one.
Yeah.
Would be my hope for it. Again, though, this one is a supermassive game, not from the original developers, so it's gonna probably be a little bit different. Which is very interesting. Oh, speaking of supermassive, by the way, I saw a new trailer for that Frank Stone, the casting of Frank Stone game that they're doing, that single player game in the Dead by Daylight universe.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. I can't remember if I sent you the trailer or not, but it showed off a lot of the game. I'll have to send it to you then, but it showed off a lot of the gameplay features, and one of them is this feature called the Cutting Room Floor, where after you finish the game, you unlock it, you can go back to any part in the game where you made a significant choice and make a different choice. It's got this like timeline of branching choices, just like Detroit Become Human did.
Nice.
Yeah. And among some other things, it's going to have a movie night mode, just like the Dark Pictures and Quarry, where you could do local co-op, where each player chooses a character to control, and you pass the controller when it's their turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, stuff like that. So yeah, it looked cool. I'm gonna play that. I played Dead by Daylight proper a couple times, and I'm like, okay, whatever, not my thing. But this being a supermassive single player game with the choices that get people killed and shit, I'm 100% into that. So
yeah,
yeah. So and more though, it seems to be their niche, which is why I'm surprised they're doing Little Nightmares 3, because that's like an actual game. You know,
yeah,
it's a running, jumping, climbing, and trying not to die game. So. But yeah, I'm surprised, but I am looking forward to all of that. Supermassive, I like them. It's
one of my favorite game developers.
Yeah, one of mine too, and it's funny because them and Bloober Team, which is one of my other favorite horror devs, are both very controversial in the horror game fan community because it's like it's either a hit or miss for a lot of people, um, and I like both of them honestly. So I'm looking
Mm.
forward to Bloober Team's take on Silent Hill 2 this year. Um, so we both had Indiana Jones and the Lost Circle on this list.
Dude.
Looking better and better.
Yes, it is.
Love me some Troy Baker in anything,
Oh my
so I'll take
gosh.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of this. It's kind of giving me like Uncharted in first person
Yeah, no, it's
vibes.
I'm excited for this one.
It definitely plays like a yeah, you can tell it's from Arcane Studios because I
Mm-hmm.
definitely I can see the Dishonored DNA in there in the
Mm-hmm.
gameplay style and stuff too.
Didn't it say it was coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, so it is coming to Game Pass from what I can tell, but they also hit us with another surprise that well, they gave us an official release date, which is this coming December, so too late for this year's Game Awards,
Yeah.
um but it is also coming to PS5 next spring. So
Yes.
and that is something that they weren't expecting because it's a Bethesda game and everyone thought it was going to be an Xbox exclusive, and then they hit us with
Mm-hmm.
that surprise. So it's only a timed exclusive, it seems,
Yeah.
which kind of gives me hope for Elder Scrolls 6 when that comes out.
Fair enough.
You know, whenever that comes out, because you know, now that they're still updating Starfield. Matter of fact, they one of the updates they put in Starfield recently was vehicles that you can drive around now because Phil Spencer himself from Xbox complained to Todd Howard from Bethesda that it was taking too long to walk between places and they needed vehicles in the game. So he put them in there. So, you know, yeah, because some of these
that's
people they work.
hilarious.
Some of these people they work in the industry. They play games too. You know, they play their competitors' games too. Like they're all gamers too.
Well,
At
yeah,
home,
it makes sense. Appreciate the
Um,
arts.
right. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Before I get to the last thing on my list, by the way, I can't believe we neither of us mentioned this. I should have put it on my list and I forgot. I meant to, but one of the biggest surprises to come out of this show was that there's a Borderlands 4 coming.
Dude, yeah, no, that way to capitalize on the movie that just hit theaters.
You mean the movie that flopped and everyone hated? Yeah. That movie doing not well at all. It is getting absolutely raked across
Really?
the coals. Oh yeah, no,
Really?
every fans and critics alike all hate it. Hate it. It's yeah. I haven't seen it, but like I'm scared too because I've heard spoiler reviews, so I know what's in it, and I'm like, ooh, this is rough. This sounds not good at all. It sounds like the problem is one of the big problems with that movie. I like everyone that's in it, but they're in the wrong movie. It's terribly miscast. It's not at all. These are not the people they should have chose for these roles.
No.
It doesn't. Yeah, Pitch Meeting has a really good video on this one. What Culture Gaming did a really good review on it. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but in a way, the announcement of a Borderlands 4 feel less like a capitalizing and more like damage control.
Mm.
Definitely feels like they're kind of like maybe they were hoping to capitalize on the movie, but they weren't expecting it to flop so hard. So now it kind of feels like, all right, forget the movie. We have another game coming. You guys like the games, right? All right, yeah. That's for this is their way of saying we're sorry, you know. But there wasn't much to go off there because it was just a teaser trailer. There's like some meteors and a mask, and somebody picked up the mask and it said Borderlands 4. It was like pretty much it. But it's a coming, and it's coming next year, so I'm surprised they didn't have more to show, to be honest.
Yeah.
You would think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm willing to bet it gets delayed. I bet you anything it gets delayed. I have a feeling it might get delayed. I don't want to jinx it because I know Ryan's looking forward to it. He loves Borderlands, but I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to make it. Uh, and then the last thing on my list was we're getting a new Mafia game, Mafia the Old Country, which, goddamn, Rockstar's busy, aren't they? Because Mafia is, I think, another one of their franchises, and it's basically much like LA Noire. It's just like a different take on a GTA style game, but in this one, instead of being like a street criminal in LA, you're a member of the Mafia in the olden days. But otherwise, it's basically just a reskinned Grand Theft Auto again.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to play Mafia Definitive Edition for a while, anyways. So,
I was hoping to see.
I'm not looking for.
I was hoping to see something having to do with Grand Theft Auto 6 at Gamescom, but no such luck.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get your wish soon enough. I mean, they've shown you quite a lot already, if we're being honest. Got
one trailer.
But, yeah, but you got no. There was another one with the characters and stuff. They had like the announcement. They had like the announcement teaser, but then they had the Game Awards. Like right before the Game Awards, they had the trailer that showed what the actual characters look like in the game.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, that was the one trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if you're looking for gameplay, perhaps this year's Game Awards will be where to look.
Maybe. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Something around that, but yeah, I haven't played any of the Mafia games yet, but they're on my list. At least I'm not looking forward to that really difficult race in the definitive edition of the first game. I know there's like a race you have to win at one point in that game that's like really hard to win, but outside of that, though, like it's the same, like run around the map, steal cars, shoot people, shit. It just closer to LA Noire than GTA, but those three series, they're all Rockstar and they're all pretty similar at their core. I would even argue that Red Dead Redemption is also just Grand Theft Auto with horses.
Yeah, pretty
in
much.
a lot of ways.
Yeah,
gameplay wise. So,
yeah,
like I mean, I got wanted quite a lot in the original game. If I'm being honest, I got chased down by quite a few coppers on horseback.
I mean,
bounty hunters.
The original game is in the library of games. If you have a subscription to GTA Plus.
Yeah, which you do. That's weird. They put up like their library of games in GTA Plus now, and one of them includes Bully, which is a game where you actually like play as like a. I can't remember if you play as a bully or if
you are
the
bully.
You're getting. Yeah, to some degree, and yeah, you're like pulling pranks and stuff. Like setting dog shit on fire and stuff like that.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Old like I think I want to say like
that PS2 game.
It was PS2 and Xbox 360 game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On there. Yeah. Close eras, but all right, yeah, that was everything on both of our lists for for Gamescom. A lot to look forward to, but at the end of the day, it really was just like more updates on the stuff we knew about already. Mm-hmm. But there were a couple of surprises, and some of those updates that we got on the stuff we already knew about definitely had me more interested in it now than I was previously.
Yeah, so. I never thought that I would be interested in a Call of Duty game.
But here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
That's crazy. But okie dokie, yeah, this is gonna be a packed holiday season in terms of game releases. We've got a lot coming out.
Yes.
In the span of October through December.
Yes.
There's a lot. Like there's
a
like
lot.
A new game every week.
Yeah, exactly.
The new Life is Strange. The new Mario Party, the new Zelda game, all coming out. Call of Duty is usually October, November. A couple things I'm looking forward to. Yeah, Astrobot's next month at least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that new Star Wars Outlaws comes out at the end of this month. The Ubisoft Star Wars game, August 30th.
Please let it hit Game Pass.
I'm renting it from GameFly. I've got it like in my game lock, so I'm guaranteed to get it. I don't
Right.
know if it will. It may eventually, but it's a Ubisoft game, so you're more likely
To see it on
to catch
PlayStation
it
Plus.
on because that's where Ubisoft Plus is. And
Yeah,
but
that
they
makes
don't
sense.
they don't put new releases on there, but they do put the games on there eventually. Like Ragnarok is up there now, and that's a couple years old, so maybe eventually.
Yeah.
Not Ragnarok, Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I said Ragnarok because there's a Ragnarok DLC for it.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, which I finally had. It was on my wish. Finally got. It was like on my wish list for 1,000 years, and I finally bought it recently when it was on sale for like $15.
There you go.
It's like the only piece of Assassin's Creed I was missing was that DLC. So
Okay.
yeah. So now I have it. And I can finally finish that game in its entirety.
Yes.
I've been doing like a Assassin's Creed series replay that's taken me the better part of a year and a half at this point.
Jesus. Okay.
I started it before we moved to the new place with Assassin's Creed 1. And it's been a year since we've moved already almost.
Damn.
So
Holy shit! It really is. Man. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, October 30th it will be. And yeah. So there's that, and yeah, so I started that, and that just goes to show you how many Assassin's Creed games there are, but I did I did Assassin's Creed 1, then Bloodlines, the PSP game, then the Ezio trilogy, which is 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, then I did Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation, and I did the DLCs for all of these. Then I did Assassin's Creed 4, which is a big chonky ass open world pirate game.
Mm.
And now I'm on Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered. That's where I'm at now. So it's been a journey. And I'm kind of I'm at a roadblock at that one because I'm at a point where I have to upgrade my ship before I'm allowed to progress with the story, and I fucking hate that so much.
Right.
But yeah, that's where I'm at now in my replays. It gave me an excuse to finally play the remastered versions of these games because I always played like the original PS3 versions,
Mm-hmm.
but it gave me an excuse to play like the PS4 versions and stuff. So. Because they were just sitting on my list otherwise, and half of them are on Ubisoft Plus now. Most of them, on PlayStation Plus's Ubisoft Plus catalog.
Mm.
So, yeah. But all right, I guess that'll wrap up our thoughts on the Gamescom or Germany 3.
Yeah.
It was like 8 p.m. for them when they aired this, like 1 p.m. for us.
Mm-hmm.
So. Any final thoughts on this overall showing on this one?
No. Well, I mean, the cheesy jokes during the pre-show had me giggling.
Fair enough. I felt kind of bad for the co-host though, and she like tried to make that goat simulator joke. She was like. He's like the goat of all remasters, or that remaster is goated, or something like that, and the audience was just like crickets.
I giggled, for sure. I definitely giggled.
Yeah. I appreciated, like, because you could definitely hear a big applause for some things here, but I like when fucking a representative for Blizzard came out on stage, they got very little applause. It was haphazard. Like,
that was...
damn.
Goddamn.
It's because people like World of Warcraft, and people like Diablo, but people don't like Blizzard.
Fair enough.
The fact that they have to deal... They don't like the fact they have to deal with Blizzard to play these games. Especially because, like, it's another one of those companies that makes you make a separate account for them to play their games, even though you already have an account that you're playing the shit on in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you launch up Diablo 4 on your PS4, you're playing it on your PlayStation 4, you already made a PlayStation account, then you launch it up and it's like, now you need an Activision Blizzard account to play this game. You're like, motherfucker, I'm already on the goddamn shit. Like, just let me play.
Right.
You know? I'm tired of all of you doing this to me. Epic Games and Ubisoft and EA and Blizzard. Shut the fuck up and let me play. Just go away. Yeah, it was like I too many steps. So, so that actually has given me an idea for what I think are... This is a bonus episode, obviously, so I don't know how many people are actually going to hear this, but like I said earlier, we're gonna take a break for a couple of weeks, and then we're gonna come back with a numbered episode, and that'll be episode 43, I want to say.
Okay.
And my idea is, let's think of I'm kind of inspired by another podcast I listened to. There's this thing called Room 101 where you put these things away that you kind of just want to not exist anymore. And so I say for the next episode, we should do a 5 things each that we don't want to see in video games anymore. Like 5 things that we just want to go away forever.
Oh, man.
And put them in this room and lock them away.
Okay. Bet.
And it could be anything as big as like an entire franchise that you can't stand, all the way down to like certain mechanics that you don't like of games. Like I just said, having to make an extra account in order to get onto the shit. Like I would probably put that in that room.
Yeah, I
honestly
could agree with that.
So that kind of thing, you know. I know I've also complained before about like character customization and stuff, so maybe, you know. But we're gonna be taking a couple week vacay, and then we'll get back to it, so we have plenty of time to think about our lists.
Yes.
So that'll be what we do. So anyways, that'll be it for this little bonus episode, though. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know your thoughts on Gamescom and the stuff they talked about in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to smash that like button. And also, you can send me an email at podcastoversoul@gmail.com, or you can message me on Twitter at oversoul53.
You can find me over on Twitter at the Vaping Fiend, or over on TikTok at the Vaping Fiend.
Alrighty. Well, until next time, thanks for listening, and keep yourselves safe out there, and have a good one. See you later.
Bye.